Yes, hello everyone and welcome. Another video. Today's video, every passing technique. Okay, now I've done the ones that are most match realistic and the most common ones that I see used and the most common ones that I use, okay, in games. I'm going to go through them, I'm going to explain them, I'm going to give you the best tips and advice about how to learn them, when to use them, okay. I hope you enjoy it. I would have missed a few out, okay, a few of the abstract ones or the few of the really difficult ones. You're going to get onto me in the comments, okay, but I've done the 5 most common ones, and this is really, really important that you guys master, okay, these passing techniques. Okay, so go out, give it a practice. I hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it. Right, so passing technique number 1 is your bounce pass. This is your first time pass with no touches. So it looks like this. You're going in and little pass, little bounce pass, okay? Inside of the foot is going to be great for this type of pass because you want these little sets and these little passes when you get in tight areas to be nice and accurate, okay? And we want to get all of our contact point on the inside of our foot, okay? So first of all, if you're struggling finding the inside of your foot, okay, get yourself in front of a wall and try and concentrate on getting your toes facing outwards, okay? So our toes facing outwards is really important. So as the ball goes in, toes out, inside the foot, okay? Toes out, inside the foot, okay? This is going to get us to be really, really accurate with our passes, okay? So the idea of a bounce pass is sometimes we're in positions that are really tight, we've got loads of defenders around us and we don't have time to take multiple touches, and we're going to have to get it off to someone else with a nice little bounce pass first time, okay? So with a bounce pass in these small areas, we don't need this big swing of our foot. We don't need to add power to the ball because normally the pace is on the ball that we're getting anyway, all right? So watch. As it comes in, all you concentrate on is a little movement of your foot, a little bit back and a little bit through. So it's like we're moving our foot this much, just so we can redirect the ball, whether it's in here or whether it's in here. Okay, so it's more my hips that are going to determine the direction of where I bounce the ball. So if I want to bounce the ball forward, my hips, little movement of my foot. Make sure it's inside the foot and inside the foot facing my target. So watch, if I want to go out here, inside the foot, facing my target. Okay, so get yourself on a wall. Your wall's going to be your best friend for this one. And just be nice and light on your feet. Concentrate on getting it inside the foot, facing your target. Bouncing into the same part of the wall every time, like this. And this is going to be a really easy one for you guys to start using the inside of your foot, practice your passing and your weight of pass, okay? So if I want to take a little bit of weight off a pass, I'm just going to go for a little bit of a smaller movement with my foot. It might go from here to there. And that is going to be a nice cushion touch for anyone else to get onto it. Once you get a little bit more advanced with the bounce pass, you can then get into going a little bit harder and really testing yourself. Left foot, right foot, you might want to take some touches, bounce, you might want to come out, you might want to go round and come back in. Little bounce, 1, 2, backtrack a few touches, come in for a little bounce with my left and back round. So you can start making this a bit more realistic in here by adding a few short first time passes in your routines. Just to recap, we have inside of the foot has to make contact and point to our target when we pass it. Toes have to be facing out so we can use that inside of a foot. And lastly, it's just a small little movement like this, okay, because the pace is already on the ball we're getting. So just a small movement, punch it back in the direction that it's coming from or out to the side using our hips for direction. Okay, let's move on to passing technique number 2. Right, so passing technique number 2 is your normal pass. Okay, we're looking for a pass over 10 yards where we need a little pace on it. Okay, we've got a touch beforehand, so we're set and we're punching all the way through the ball. Okay, now this is completely different to a bounce because we're going to need a lot more speed and momentum behind the ball, okay, for the ball to move further. Okay, so we're going to need a bit of a bigger range of motion from here to here through the ball, and we're going to need speed behind the ball as well. Okay, so you've got speed of yourself and then speed of your leg when you're moving it towards a football. So speed and then speed. Okay, now the same rule applies as your bounce pass. This is why it's important, and this is why I did the bounce pass first. Your toes are going to still be pointing out to the side. So then we can make good contact with the inside of our foot again. Okay, because inside the foot, the bigger the surface area, the more accurate our pass is going to be. So with big touch, we sprint, toes out to the side. And again, my inside of my foot is facing my target and my ankles are stiff. Ankles are nice and stiff. I'm punching through the ball. If I did it left, I'm going inside the foot, punching. Okay? Now, when we're moving a little bit quicker into things, we might struggle with our balance. So it's important that our arms are coming out to the side. So watch, left arm's coming out and I'm punching through. Okay? Now, you want to make sure you're using the good, strong part of your foot and you're hitting the middle of the ball. If you get on top of the ball, it's going to be bobbly like this, okay? Or if you get underneath the ball can end up popping up a little bit and it's a little bit horrible for the person receiving it. So you've got to make sure you're coming through the middle of the ball and you're punching round. Even there, if you want to come around the side of the ball a little bit, that's fine. You've just got to make sure you're hitting level with the middle of the ball so the ball rolls nicely into the person you're passing to. Okay, so to recap, with a longer pass inside the foot, over 10 yards, you're going to need a little bit of speed before the ball. Okay, you're also going to need a slightly bigger backlift and a bigger follow through. Okay, and with the inside your foot, your toes are still pointing out to the sides. Okay, and lastly, when you finish after contact, inside the foot follows through towards your target. Okay, and you can deliver a nice, strong inside the foot pass. The more momentum you get, the more speed you get, the stronger your pass is going to be. Okay, so in, speed, punch, inside the foot faces my target. Okay, and that is how we do a pass over 10 yards, 15 yards, 20 yards. Okay, we're going to concentrate on slightly bigger movement and punching our inside the foot all the way through to our target. Okay, let's move on to technique number 3. Right, so passing technique number 3 is your little driller, your low daisy cutter. These are the passes that you see over about 20, 30 yards, okay, where you're creating a little bit of backspin and it's driven with a little bit of a lacier technique, which I'll get to in a second. So watch, it looks like this. You're going to roll and it's driven like that. Oh, it's a good touch as well. Keep that in. Okay, again, it's nice and low. Okay, that is fine for me. It can be either driven across and skimming across the surface, or it can have a little bit of height on it, but it still stays relatively low. The idea is that we're driving, that was nice, we're driving towards our target. I've given you 2 different variations of it there, one a little bit higher and one where it skims off the floor. Okay, so how are we going to achieve this type of pass? Okay, I have gone through this in an improved technique video, one of my third, I think it's my 3rd video in. Go and take a look at it if you want a longer explanation, okay? But this is how I'm going to do it short term, briefly. Okay, so first of all, the reason I put the camera there is because I want you to see the body shape I'm in and the technique position that I'm trying to get my body in. We want to create backspin on the ball. So what you're going to do is, when you run up to the ball, you're going to lean to the left. So you right footers, you're leaning to the left. Left footers, you're going to lean to the right. For those left footers, anything I say, you're just going to do the opposite, because I'm going to practice on my right foot. So watch, you're going to lean into this position, arms out, your left toe is pointing out this side, and we're going to go across the football this time. So all of our body is round and across the football. Okay, we have to make contact with this hard bone right in here. This is where you want to make contact with the ball. This part here of your foot. That is why when we lean, that's going to enable us to find that part of our foot. Okay, so we're getting that part of the foot, coming across it. So watch, I'm going to roll the ball towards my target. I'm going lean and perfect. I've created a little bit of backspin. Okay, now, if we want to drive the ball low, it's important we have a little bit of momentum before it and a little bit of follow through, okay, that punches through the middle of the ball. Okay, so making sure, if we want to keep it low, we're really getting a bit of momentum into the football and it's through, forward on our follow through as well. So just to recap the points for this low driven pass, we want to create backspin, okay, and we do that by leaning to the left, making contact with this hard part of our foot and making sure, okay, that our toes are pointing on our standing foot slightly out the way of the football and we're coming across it, creating that backspin. So watch, here we go, I'm going to lean, I'm going to get my arms out and I'm coming across the ball. And that is a nice low driven pass, okay? So that, or they are the little steps I'm giving you, okay, for passing technique number 3. Now let's move on to technique number 4. Right, technique number 4 is your long ping, your driven pass. It is a little bit, okay, to be honest, it's very, very similar to technique number 3. All we're going to do is on a bigger, okay, faster scale. Okay, so you're going to make sure you have technique number 3 before you do these long ones. Okay, because all they are is the same technique, but we're running up to the ball faster, okay, and we have a little bit of a bigger range of motion from our foot going back into the bum and our foot all the way across out to the side. So all that's different between technique number 3 and 4, okay, is the momentum and speed at which we do it at. If, say, I'm a centre mid and I turn out, I want to do this long pass, make sure your hips and the ball are rolling towards your target. okay, and we're going to try and create that backspin, okay, and because we're driving through the ball, it's going to rise, it's going to have a nice trajectory, and it's going to get to the player that we wanted to really quickly, okay. So you're going out your speed, boom. I don't think I could have hit that better, right in the goal over there, okay. So as you can see there, all I've done is run up to it with loads of speed, okay. I've leant to my left hand side and I've come across it, just like with practice for technique number 3, okay. So definitely follow those steps, okay, and make sure you're good with them before you go into something bigger, okay, where you're hitting the ball harder and it's all a little bit faster. I'm going to do one more, okay. Again, rewind the one I've just done. I think that's a great example for you. I'll do one more, and that is coming round lovely. I've got a backspin and it's in the net. So go away, practice step number 3 before number 4, but they are relatively the same. One's just done on a bigger scale. Let's move on to technique number 5. Right, so passing technique number 5 is your little outside the foot pass. Okay, I say little because this is a technique I only really use when I'm in tight areas and I want to do a little 1-2, okay, with a friend. So this is a bit like your bounce. Your wall's going to be really, really great for this, so get yourself on a wall if you want to practice this. I'm going to go through the outside the foot pass technique first, and then I'm going to show you a little drill you can do where you're incorporating all 5 techniques. Okay, so watch. With this outside the foot pass, you have to try and create as much momentum as you can behind the football if you want it to be powerful. Okay, so if you want it to be powerful, I want you to think about a boxer's jab. Okay, now I'm no boxer, so you can laugh at me when I'm doing this jab, but imagine a jab, right? You're coming in from the middle and you're punching out really fast. Okay, think of that as what you're doing with your legs here. So you're going to get almost side on and you're punching from here out, nice and explosive, into, okay, the player or the ball that you're working with. Okay, so think about the outside of your foot, okay, punching towards your target. So you're going to have to be a little bit side on for this one, and you're using, okay, this top side or this side of your foot on the outside. It's not right on your outside out here, it's in this bit here. Okay, so think in, out as quick as you can. You're in, out. If it's left foot to the side, punch, punch, and all you're doing, it's all follow through pretty much, because you don't really have much space this side. So make sure you're going into the ball with a little bit of speed, running round, touch, speed, touch, punch, and you're going touch, punch, touch, punch. So as you can see, if you want to go over those little ones I've done there, go over them slowly. I'm going touch and I'm punching from the middle of my body and round. So probably one, still got there, touch, punch, touch, from the middle, punching out. So that is technique number 5, and I use it quite a lot on little bounce passes, little 1-2s. Okay, so you're coming in from the middle, you're finding this part of your laces, and it's here to here. This distance is here to here. Okay, nothing more than that. Okay, a bigger version would be a trivela. I'm not going to do that today. I know all of you guys are probably like, do it, do it, do it. I don't really use trivelas. Okay, I prefer to just use my left foot. But this is, on a smaller scale, a great little pass you can do for little 1-2s around the corner, so I thought I would do it. Okay, right, little drill you can do. Grab a bag of footballs, have a target about 30 yards away, okay? You can work around these cones any way you want. You can do your bounces, you can go touch, pass, you might come back out, go for a longer pass. You can improvise round cones and a wall as much as you want. It's going to get your first touch going, it's going to get your bounces going, your medium passes going. Even if you want to come back out here, come in, you might drill a little one, then you might bounce one. You're going to go touch, play, you might come back out, you might turn, and you might drill one again, and then you might bounce one. Okay, so use the cones and work around them best you can, as using many or as many techniques as you can. Okay, now even if they're sometimes not in the right position to use the technique, go and practice them anyway. Okay, because you guys increasing the different techniques you've got, okay, it's going to be great for your progression and great for your learning and understanding how your body works and how you want to get in certain techniques. So I'm going to go through one now, and we're going to go a few bounces, a few outsides, a few medium passes, and I'm going to finish with a long driller. I'm just going to do one just to show you what I might do. I'm going to completely improvise with it. Okay, so watch. I'm going to go bounce here, 1, 2. I then might go touch outside the foot. I then might go touch for a little one away. I might turn, and I might drill one. Good. I might bounce one. good. I might go touch across because I want to use both feet. Both feet's really important. Punch with my left, turn, and normal pass. I then might turn out and I might set myself up for a nice long driller. And that is a little set complete. Get yourself 10 footballs and just improvise around these cones. Work on your techniques. Different types of passes are massively important if you want to take your game to the next level. Look, they are 5 starting techniques. I know some of you are going to say, oh, what about this one? What about this one? I will do a part 2. If you guys chuck loads in the comments, I'll feel bad I haven't gone through them. So if you have got any others you want me to do, okay, chuck them in the comments and I will get to them best I can. But for now, thank you for watching. I appreciate it and I'll see you on the next one.